We're the Grumbine family. I'm Nathan, this is Danielle, and our son is Benjamin.
Hi, I'm Ben and I'm 5.
He's our 5-year-old, very enthusiastic little boy who's just absolutely amazing in every single way. One of the nurses, I think, said at one point to my mom, he's a boy of the world. And that's kind of like what we've called him ever since, just a boy of the world. Well, my pregnancy was entirely normal. I had a very healthy pregnancy. There was no indication that, anything was wrong. It was very unexpected when I was around 36 weeks that I went into labor with Ben. And then it just was a whirlwind from there. About 48 hours old, the doctors realized that there was something definitely wrong with Ben, particularly his lungs. We were told at one point by the doctors, anything that could go wrong with his lungs are going wrong with his lungs.
They had said, well, if anything were to happen after they got him stable, that they would probably have to transfer him to Hershey, but they're like, we don't think that's going to be an issue. And then next thing you know, like literally 3 hours later, they're like, we got to transfer him.
One of the nurses at this hospital that Ben was born at said, your baby is very sick. And I think for me, that is when I think I lost it. It really hit home how serious an issue this was.
It was about 9 o'clock, the transfer team showed up.
They said, if something were to happen to Ben, if he were to crash or we need to work quickly, will you be able to stay calm? And I said, sure. I'm gonna ride with my baby, right? I'm not gonna let my baby ride in that ambulance alone.
They got him down to Hershey, and by I think about 11:30, they had them all set up in the critical care room at Hershey, all hooked up on the ventilators or everything. All this equipment is there because Children's Miracle Network was there to be able to support children in this area.
I'm thinking to myself, is this really happening? Like, this is incredibly surreal. And very quickly, I was kind of taken from that moment into the reality of meeting with the neonatologist who, is echoing this nurse saying, your baby is really sick. We're putting him on a high oscillating ventilator. And I asked her, I said, okay, so if he has to move to ECMO and that doesn't work, is there anything after that could help? And she said, no, ECMO is the last resort. Thankfully, Ben never needed to move to ECMO, but we're so grateful that it was there and available, and that was thanks to Children's Miracle Network.
I remember we were there actually when they took him off the ventilator.
I think that was the first time that we actually got this sense that Ben's gonna be okay.
After he came off the ventilator, after that first week, she finally got to hold him.
It was absolutely amazing. I was beaming from ear to ear.
Everybody that has that moment, like, this is my kid. And, we had that moment, but definitely getting to hold him and all that stuff, it was emotional, especially a week later. It's an amazing feeling.
We never thought that our child's first car ride would be in an ambulance. We thought that, that perfect scenario that you have in your head, especially as first-time parents, of 2 days later bringing your child home from the hospital. We did get that moment. It was just 3.5 weeks late.
We got him dressed, they took him off all the monitors, and the display above his bed said discharge. It's just like, yes. We got outside the doors and we did our first family photo where Ben wasn't hooked up to equipment. We did a selfie in front of the hospital that we were coming home.
One of the taglines of Children's Miracle Network is, giving the gift of growing up. And we often say as parents, we thank Children's Miracle Network for giving us the gift of seeing Ben grow up. We needed it for 3 weeks, but, we have it for a lifetime. Children's Miracle Network gave so much to us, just in the support and the services and the equipment that were available for Ben. So now it's my turn. It's our turn to give back and to help other families. Being a champion is being an advocate for something. And that's what we're looking to do here with Ben as the Miracle Champion, to get out there, to share his story. Ben's bravery has inspired me, from day one. He was a fighter. He absolutely was a fighter. And, we saw that in the NICU, but we've seen it ever since.
Thank you for the gift of growing up.